And of course, if you're in the UK, you understand what this is. This is a, quote, modification type project for a housing project. And they put cladding and, quote, the material that went on with the cladding. And they didn't realize that it was flammable, right? That not only the cladding, but the whole assembly was not totally fireproofed. And this is now in court in the UK. The most amazing thing I've ever seen, because the owner is blaming the general contractor. The general contractor put his project manager on the stand. The project manager said, this is my first project. I don't know anything about this project, and no one gave me any training. Then they hired all these consultants, and they bring the consultants and put them on the stand. And the consultants are saying, well, I didn't do that. That decision wasn't made by me. Then they found out that what was specified wasn't put on the building. And everybody's pointing fingers. And the one that I remember the best is they asked the person in charge of, quote, fire safety and flammability. He's the expert on ensuring that whatever was put on was the right thing. He said, I didn't specify what was put on, and what was specified wasn't even put on. And they asked him, well, why didn't you stop it? And he said, because that's not my decision to make. And they said, didn't you foresee something was going to go wrong with this? And he said, we had an inspector from the government. And the inspector came, and he came daily. And if the inspector said it was okay, he's the expert. Well, what has happened in this is the common line is, that's not my responsibility. Or I don't remember, or I wasn't trained, or I don't remember again. It's an amazing thing to watch, but it shows what's going on in the industry. By the way, the originally specified material was not put on because they're trying to cut costs. And someone actually testified that the general contractor was trying to pocket that money. So, what are we proposing? We're proposing simply to identify and utilize expertise. We're going to use a language of metrics to make it transparent. So we're going to get the best value for the lowest cost. Who will write the final scope and technical documents? It'll be the expert doing the job. And the client's terms and conditions, of course, have to be written by the client. Because if you can't meet their terms and conditions, you can't work for that client. And there is no negotiation in this process. No negotiation means no getting something for free, minimize relationships, minimize all the things that currently the professionals and their structure have to use. This is totally disruptive technology. Anything that can't be observed. What do we mean by observed? You have to, quote, be able to see what they're saying as a metric and count it. So it has to be observable and countable. And if it's not observable and countable, which means people disagree on what the metric should be, it should be taken out of the specification or the contract. Of course, we want to make this vendor-centric. Now, why would somebody do this? Because over 2,000 tests, over 25 years, and we continually run tests, we have seen where expert vendors lower the costs anywhere from 5%. We've actually seen in our latest running 50%. Amazing. And why? Why does this work? Because over repeated testing, and I'll show you the data on some of them, we have found out that 90% of all project cost and time deviation is actually caused by the client and their representatives. And there's no argument with that. So everyone in the supply chain clearly sees this. So if you look at now, we're trying to utilize experts who simplify, who minimize documentation that is used for communication. And then we have the existing system run by the professionals. And you can see where on the expert side, they don't want to have a lot of documentation for communication purposes because they try to minimize communication. But on the professional side, we maximize documentation and information.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more content. If you have any questions about the best value approach or for Dr. Dean, leave them in the comment section below and we'll get to them in a later video. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.